Hello and welcome. This is Ruth, and recently I posted a video showing you some of the really beautiful stuff from 49 and Market that is now on Tonic Studios websites. And today I'm just going to give you a little taster of how I love to use these things. So you might be a scrapbooker or a card maker, or just like me, a creative person who just loves to try it all. There's actually probably nothing that I don't like to try in the crafty realm at all, because you set down a piece of paper and a lot of embellishments and my mind just runs riot, and I'm sure you're the same. So I am going to show you how to make a card with some of this and some existing Tonic products, and then I was going to make a little album or whatever, but I really love the idea of a little journal that today I'll maybe make 1 or 2 pages with, and then you'll probably find me frequently coming back to add to it, because while cards are really beautiful to make to give to someone, I actually really enjoy making a little journal every now and again just for myself, because I just like to put things that I really like inside it. So we'll do that, but first of all I'm going to show you what I've got here, and then I'm going to make a card. If you haven't already subscribed and hit the notification bell, I would really love you to do that, because that way you'll see lots of these as they come up, and there definitely will be lots more. And I'd really like you to, if you want, to have a little look back at that last video to show you a sort of overview of all of this stuff. But I'm guessing if you're already a Tonic Studios fan or customer, that you really like die cutting, and you might want to incorporate all of this with your die cutting and some other things that I've got here from Tonic. I've got some ink. Now I know that's out of stock at the moment, but you might have it. They've also brought out beautiful little acrylic blocks. I'm going to show you how I'm going to use those in this video. Embellishment mousse, the little mister, the little spatula, the little brush, and all sorts of things. I've got a little stamp set, and then I've got a die set that I'm going to use for the album as well. So first of all, let's have a look at this big 49 and Market 12 by 12 paper pack. This is called Crafty Garden, and it's got 10 double-sided papers, and there's one of each design, and an exclusive print on the back of the cover that's exclusive to this collection pack. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking already, you know, there's this is the paper that they're telling you about on the other side. It makes fantastic backgrounds, but you've also got the choice of cutting out any of these or all of these little bits, this lovely strip across here, and using any of these pieces that you want to add to your cards or your layouts or your little journals. I would really love to know if any of you really love journals. I don't know what it is, but there's something about them that just grabs me. In fact, I've sort of dabbled a little bit in junk journals too, and I've never really shared any of that. So if any of you like that sort of thing, do leave a little comment. I'm always pushed for time because I'm always busy. My brain just explodes with ideas from time to time, and then I'm always busy sort of trying to carry them out and share them with you. And there's always more ideas in there, and I never share everything. So anyway, back to this. I just digressed there. So I'm just going to show you through this. So obviously these are absolutely gorgeous for using for scrapbooks, scrapbook pages, or you could fussy cut some of these elements out or chop them up and use them on cards. The choice is yours, but you've got both sides. So this sort of ties in with this one. In fact, you know, you could really just use this with any of them, but you could chop and cut up bits and pieces and use them for all sorts of things. You're not tied to using this for a scrapbook page at all. I'll probably make a couple of scrapbook pages because I've got a few albums outside, and I've always enjoyed making those as well. But I really think that a lot of my followers and a lot of my friends are card makers and journal makers. So let me know if you do scrapbooking as well, because I'd love to share that with you. Isn't that just fabulous? I love the kind of distressed background in that, and the little postage stamp and all of this collage going on there. And of course, if you know me at all, you'll know I always love gingham. Beautiful underside to that one as well. So we're just really having a quick look through these, because I could oh and ah and hum and ha at every page. They're so beautiful, but we're just having a quick look through. I will be using bits and pieces of them throughout this video. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? But I did say in my sort of overview video that I would show you more up closely during the next video. Wishing you comfort. Wouldn't that make a really beautiful sympathy card, or for someone who's maybe got bad news or something like that? Sending warm and caring thoughts for you. And all of these are really beautiful. just to cut up and use on cards. And then you've got this gorgeous background as well. So that's the 12 by 12 Crafty Garden paper collection. And then I'm going to show you this as well. I definitely love these, and I'm definitely going to be using some of these in whatever I do here, because I just absolutely adore rub-on transfers. I haven't had any for a long time, so I'm very excited to use these. So this is the Crafty Garden Botanical Rub-on Transfers. So this is the cover sheet, but of course we're going to be cutting out some of these at some stage. I know that you're a crafter as well as I am. You're going to fussy cut some of these little elements out as well, or you know, just cut a square out and add it on to something. That won't go to waste. But these are the 3 transfer sheets. I think it's 3 sheets of 6 by 12. They are absolutely amazing. There's not one, I have already had a look, and there's not one that I do not simply adore in that. So all you need to do is just cut around the chosen one and sort of rub it onto your project. But you'll see how to do that if you haven't already done it before. And then of course we've got this other sheet as well, and that's definitely not going to waste. Nothing goes to waste in this house, but I'm sure you're the same. Now, this is the 114 die cut shapes, and this is the Crafty Garden Ephemera Bits. It's absolutely bursting full of, oh, well, I'm just going to open it up and let you see some of it, give you a closer look than what I gave you the last time. So, oh, honestly, I just don't even know where to start with this. There's some bigger pieces, so these could be used in memory books or even on the front of a card. I'm not going through this all in detail. I'll go very, very quickly and give you a little run through. Look at that. I love the distressed, the sort of vintage distressed look on these, but you can ink them as well if you want around the edges. Use your brush and a little ink pad and distress them even more if you like. They are absolutely stunning, and to be honest, I hardly know where to start with them. So there you are, the flower garden. And look at that with a little sort of faux paper clip on it. My heart, tickets, you are loved. Oh, I would be here forever just going through those individually, but I'm just going to flick through. Look at that, the little lawnmower. Isn't that beautiful? I've never seen one like that before. And a beautiful big foliage stem. That's got a little cutout on it there as well. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I may have said that a time or two already, but they really, really are. And I always love tickets. Always love labels, tickets, whatever. Butterflies. This day, so happy, celebrate, whisper, journal. So those could definitely be used on cards and journals and all sorts of things. But I'm excited. I hope you can hear that. I hope you enjoy it. Look. And look. A little frame and a little circle. And this piece, all of those can be used together. So I'm just going to move that over to the side. I don't want to cover that all up again because first of all, I think I'll make a card. And I want to pick some of these out, but I want to show you the die set that I'm using for Tonic first. It's called A Lifetime of Adventure. Now this die set comes separately, and I will show you that. I originally got this die set in a kit, but it is now sold separately, and I'll put the link to that, my affiliate link. Actually, my affiliate links to everything that I use in the video will be down below in the description of this video as well. So that gives me a little commission if you buy it through my affiliate links, but it actually doesn't cost you anything extra either. So I will put a link to the actual die set of this because it's available now, not in a kit, but as a single die set for a little memory book. So I'm using this one. It's called A Lifetime of Adventure, and I'm going to be using some of it throughout the video, bits and pieces. But in this one, I have taken this die from that die set and this one as well, which I'll be using later, and I have cut this out in some beautiful 300 GSM smooth ivory card, and that's craft perfect. It's really, really beautiful, very, very good quality. And you do want something good quality because the quality in these just beggars belief, to be honest. You need to feel those to believe them. Now I've got my big magnetic stand here, and you can see I've already been experimenting, and I've got a lovely little piece made, but I want to show you how to do it, or how I've done it. You may already be doing this and don't need me to show you, but a little bit of someone else's inspiration sometimes just goes a long way. So I have taken some embellishment mousse. I've opened this up and I have decanted some out with my spatula. I've just lifted some out here and put it onto the side of my mat. And quite often I would be using a glass mat, but not whenever I'm videoing because the glare is really, really bad. So I'll zoom you in a little bit and let you see. But this mat that I'm using here is magnetic, so these little magnets hold that on really, really tightly. Now, what I've done here is got some water in my little mister, and I'm just spraying that on there, and then I'll mix that round again just to get a kind of watercolory, loose kind of colour, and this will dry on this card with a really, really lovely sheen. I don't mind a few lumps in it, so I'm not going to make that really perfect because it all adds to the texture in the end. And then I'm going to take my little acrylic block, and you can see I've just been using it because I don't even want to clean it. I want to use it again just like this. I want to dip that in there. Now you can actually just make that up on here if you want, but if you lift that up, maybe just zoom you out again so you can see slightly more. Yeah, so there's where I've been working and mixing this up. A little bit of water to get the kind of loose consistency that I want, and then I've put my little acrylic block down in there, just lifted it up, and then I am going to just press this very, very lightly, just kind of move it around here. And I don't really want the square edge on it there, the straight edge, so I can move it around a little bit, and I could even spray some more water on there. I don't want it so even, so I might just leave it just like that. I don't want it all over. So doesn't that make a really, really beautiful background? Now that is wet at the moment, not too wet because obviously I've used it very, very sparingly and lightly, but I'm going to dry that with my heat gun before I do a little bit of inking around the outside edges. Can you see the sheen on that? It's really, really pretty. But now I've got the Distress Strips A5 stamp set, and I'll put a little link to that down below as well. This was released fairly recently. I think it was with the Scribbles and Frames die set. So you can see I've just lifted this one out because I thought this was a really, really lovely one, and I'm not going to use the full length of it. I've got my little ink pad here, and all I'm going to do is press down there and then add some little areas of this around the card. Oh, I love it already. Now I'm just going to take a little brush and bring some ink in around the edges, very, very lightly, just to stress that a little bit more around the edges. Now, the first thing I want to do is put a beautiful transfer onto the back, and I've looked through these and, well, they're all beautiful, and I hardly knew which one to pick, but I think I'm going to go for this tall one up at the top corner here, so I'm just going to cut that off. Take the backing off, and I would like that up round about there, so just over to the side a bit, put it down, and then I'll go over it with my little bone folder. So now I've had a little look through all the ephemera package, and I've picked out some lovely things here. So I've got this little tag, and I'm going to pop that up in 3D foam pads, butterfly, some bits and pieces here, and I'm going to layer those up and just enjoy the process. So I've got the 3D foam pads on there, and now I've taken a little bit of twine. This was on Tonic's website. I'm not too sure if it's still there or not, But I'm just going to chop that, and I always put a little bit of glue just in there to hold that, because you don't want that to come adrift, especially if it's a card and you're sending it to someone. And then pop that down there. Now I think this is really nice if these just come off the edge, so when they do that you actually need to add a little foam pad over at the side here and then glue on the other part of it. So I'm going to chop one of those up and then just add that on here, and maybe I don't even need to talk, I can just carry on playing with this and enjoying myself, and you could watch. I decided against the great big butterfly up there because I thought it just overpowered everything. We've already got a good sized butterfly here, so I've taken the little dragonfly. It's really beautiful, and I've put a little foam pad up here, and that's just going to go in there, and that way we can still see everything else. But I wanted to add something down in this corner, so I've taken this. These are absolutely fantastic little dies for using on projects like this. This is called the Scribbles and Textures die set, and you have a little look in here. There's all sorts of things, mesh and honeycomb and different pieces, hearts and whatnot, a little brick wall in there, a beautiful little scribble heart here which is gorgeous. But I wanted to use this little circle. I've cut it out of some craft card and it's just too big for what I want, so I'm going to cut it in two, and then I'm going to glue this half just in here. You never know, I might put another bit in there, but I'm going to glue this piece on first, and then I'm going to mat that onto some green card and add it to the front of a craft card, and that's my little card made. Now I think in this instance, I really think that more is more whenever you're using stuff like this. You don't want to just be sort of holding back on the embellishments and bits and pieces, because this is the kind of thing that really does look best if you add quite a lot onto it. Yes, I think I'll put that in there too. I glued the whole thing onto the olive green card, and now I was actually going to put it onto this. Now I'm sort of dithering, and you might have a different idea than I've had, but maybe you like that. I do really love it, but I might just go with the white because I don't know why, but I just think I do prefer the white. When I get this panel glued on, you can let me know in the comments down below if I should have put it onto the craft coloured one. It's gorgeous too, it really is. It's hard just to make your mind up, but anyway, I'm putting it onto this, and then I'm going to add some crystal drops, and that's the card finished. I really love how that has turned out, and it's very unique because obviously you can't just buy that patterned paper like that. I made that, and you could make it too. So easy. There's another little panel, another little tester that I was trying, and I can go ahead and make that into a card as well, or something else. But every one of these will be unique and handcrafted, and I hope you really enjoy making cards. I could go on all day just adding bits and pieces to this. I was thinking even I could add some shimmer, do you know the little pen? I can't remember the name of it, but the Aquaflow shimmer pens onto the little wings here, and I actually might even come back and do that. So if you find the little wings are glowing in my final photos, you'll know I've done that. Anyway, now I'm going to go on to sort of sorting out a little journal. Now, as I said before, I was going to make a memory book, but I really just loved the idea of having something that I could just add to as I felt. So as I enjoyed this, I just think I'll add other bits and pieces to it whenever I feel like it, and come back and show you that as I do it. So the main die in the die set that we were looking at from the kit has cut out this piece here. I'll just find it here. So that's this large die here. That's this big outer one. And then I've also cut off some of these panels as well. So I've cut that out, and then I've taken the little whole panel. So there's a couple of different ones there. I have used, let me see, this one. And I just folded this over right down the little crease. So you'll find a couple of little creases. I've gone for the center one and burnished it right down there and laid that down over the two, right in, just in the middle of the two little score lines there. And that has given me this, what I would call a little signature. You can see I've already gone ahead and put some double-sided tape in there, and I have cut a piece of this. Now this was cut with the same die that I used for cutting this, but this time I just cut it off slightly inside this fold line here, and that has given me this piece. So I'm going to go ahead now. I've got double-sided tape on 3 sides of this because I want to make a little pocket. I'm going to put that in here and just add that directly on there. So it's important to line it up here. I should probably have decorated this first, but I just got so excited I wanted to go ahead and show you how to make this. Obviously you can buy little journals and little books and all sorts of things. You could just do whatever you like inside as well each day and add your thoughts and add, well, not even your thoughts so much as what I'm going to do here is just make something really nice each day that I feel like it. Anytime that I feel like it, I'll come back and make another one of these. So I just thought it would be really nice if I used this because, well, I'm die cutting as well. I enjoy that. The die set's available on the website at the moment. I'll put the link to that down below, as I said, but there's all sorts of memory books that you could use this same idea for. I'll probably just attach these together with a big brad through the centre of them just to hold them until I eventually come back at the end, if there ever is an end, because I might just keep on adding bits and pieces to it, and I'll thread twine down through these when I've got several of these made. So this at the moment then is a pocket that I can put something like this down in. Of course, when I'm trying to show this in video, it doesn't want to open, but there it is. And I could actually have taken a little notch out of that, but what I'm going to do is put a little notch onto this. I could also have gone ahead and waited until I had this all assembled first and then gone ahead and added it onto here, which would have made more sense, but I got too excited, obviously. So now I am going to decorate this before I fold this over and make a little pocket out of it, so that I've got double-sided tape on here and here, and then I'll not only have a pocket down in there, but I'll have a pocket here as well. Because this area is actually going to be closed over and then I'll be putting a tag or something else in the front of it here, I don't want to decorate the whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and put one of these rub-ons down at the side of it. So I'm not too sure. I think I'll go for this one. I really like them all. It's hard to know, isn't it? But we'll go for that one. Like this, but I don't want to add it all on, so I'm just going to cut part of that and rub that on as well. I think possibly we'll go down there. Off camera there, I just inked around the edges here, and because I had already got everything on, I've got the transfers already on, I just held it up the way I've shown you there and brushed on from the edges there. I really should have done that first, but there you are. Now I'm going to do this very lightly. I don't want to tap it in too much to the ink, and I'll add just a few little bits and pieces here and there over the edge of the side of this. And there we have it. So I'm not going to do anything more to that area because, as I said, this is a pocket. So now I'm just going to open this up and pop that down, and there, that's the pocket complete. Do you remember the two little bits that I cut off there? This was what was left from it, and here's the ideal place for it here, because I don't want to leave that all blank, but I don't want to add too much detail onto it. So I'm just going to open this up, and that's why I love getting things like this, that you can just chop and use little bits here and there and really just enjoy the process. This is where rub-ons come in really handy, because I want to make something to go down inside here, but I don't really want to have an awful lot of extra dimension on it by having die cuts or even any of this thicker ephemera, because I want to just make sure that it's definitely going to fit down in there easily. So I've taken this, and then I've got this little tab here that goes on. I'm going to glue just the bottom of it here on the front side and attach that up at the top, just right there. And then I'm going to put a little rub-on onto that as well. There's so many of these, I'm not too sure, but I have picked one out that I think is really nice. That could change in a moment, because oh, they're gorgeous, they really are. I had picked out this one. You know, I'm just going to go for this one. This was my original. This lovely little daisy, or whatever it is up here. It's not a daisy, of course. It's I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. That just looks like it grew there. And the other thing was, there are a couple of little pieces over to the side of that were really just little dots. I've already added one up there, and I'm going to add that one on there because, well, I don't want to waste anything, but it also looks really nice. So there we are. That's my little tab for going down inside here, and you want to have that in so that the this little piece is still protruding from the top, so that you can see it and you'll know that that's to be pulled out. So now I'm going to make something to go in here. I just love the way you can carry on keeping on building up in this and adding different elements to it, especially with the rub-ons. And then I've come back with the stamp again, because I thought this was too plain looking beside this. There wasn't just enough detail on it, so I've just got a little bit of this stamp again on there with the sort of light brown ink. I've put Forever on here. I'm going to pop that in there, and then we can add some of these other little tickets and little pieces of the ephemera in behind that. Oh, lovely, isn't it? So there we are. That's the first page on the top, and then I think I'll decorate the back of it, and then at another stage I'll come back and do some more pages, but I'm going to do this piece now. This was my test piece, if you remember, the piece that I was actually going to use on the card. I just wanted to check how it would work out first. So I'm going to glue that down on here, and then just about there, and then I'll decorate the top of that, but I'm leaving that as a mat this time. That's not going to be a pocket. I've picked out this little gingham frame, and I've taken the centre out of it. I'm going to put that on there because you could really just put a little photo in there if you wanted. Put the little bee up here, and then this little piece on here with Love You on there, and this little heart will have to go on somewhere here. I'm not too sure where just yet, but I really love that little scribble heart. So let's go for this. The frame's going to go on first. I added a little rub-on bee down there, and I'm very happy with the way that's turned out. Really happy with just the way you can customize all of this. You can take elements that look as if they're going to be just attached to a card, but you can actually make them your own by adding ink and by adding all sorts of things. I hope you've enjoyed it, because I really have loved it. As I said, I'll be back. This is just page 1. I'll be back with more of this journal. You'll see further pages, and then if I ever get it finished, you'll probably see the end of it as well, where I sort of bind it up and make a cover for it. But in the meantime, that's my card. I think I'll be adding some shimmer on here, and I'm definitely going to add some crystal drops on here. but I want them on here as well, so that's going to be a bit awkward. This is going to have to stand up like this until it all dries, but anyhow, small price to pay for the enjoyment I've had making it. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to give my video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Please let me know down in the comments as well what you think of this, if you enjoy this, if you've done it before, if you are going to try it now, and if you actually like the die cutting along with the ephemera and all of those bits and pieces joined in together. I'd actually left lots and lots of things out. There's a gorgeous embossing folder here, all of those things. I've got sparkle spray, I've got all sorts of things that I'm definitely going to be using as I get further into this, but for now, this is page 1, that's my card, and that's it. So thanks again. I hope to see you very soon, but in the meantime, a happy crafting and thanks for watching. Bye bye.